Oh, good morning.
God. Hi.
Where are we going to?
Claremont Farmers Market, the best. Kind of got a little bit of a berry haul going on.
Yes, and garlic cheese bread.
So yeah, garlic and berries, I guess.
Berries.
That's kind of the vibe. Let's get some cheese.
You want to go?
There's something like really special about like seeing like a record just like even in CD form. You think about how music was in the old times when it wasn't in abundance. You either had to go see a show or you had to like blow out like the same old record over and over again. So it's like super cool seeing this like in the modern day. It almost makes it more special, you know?
That's the album cover.
Celtic.
Oh, is it? Wow. I wonder if James.
I'm gonna float them up. So Erika's clumsy and she's dropped stuff.
D is for disclosure. There it is.
Put it back, Erika.
Okay, I think it's over here actually. Oh wait. Look at these little run strawberries. Aren't they so cute?
To eat right now, but oh my god, these are like probably like my big three. So got chives, got some dill, which is so good in like broth. Ooh, Thai basil.
It smells great.
It really does. So good. Chocolate is actually ruined. I was trying to be pretty with it, and
I can do it pretty. There we go.
what? You just broke it in half.
Yeah.
See, the trick is elevation. We made a baby charcuterie platter.
Baby.
All farmers market items. All farmers, right? Except the cuties, right? So that's
Except
cool.
the cuties, yeah.
That's good.
It's all locally sourced.
Today we're talking about an interesting topic.
We're gonna talk about how we met.
Oh no. What's interesting about this story is that we have very different interpretations about how it began.
It was a Saturday before lockdown was enforced. Our mutual friend, Dan, he had this concert with his quintet, I believe. at one of the band members' home. And there was probably about 50 people that night, all just like jam-packed in this house.
Pre-pandemic.
The set started around, I think it was like 7 or 7:30. I was just, watching Dan and Cole and his buddies, they're all jamming and playing. And halfway through the set, the door opens. Who shows up? This guy. I remember my first thought was, who does this guy think he is to show up 30 minutes into a show?
Okay, hold on. First off, I knew that they were playing, and I wasn't about to come open the door while they were playing something deep. I specifically remember peeking in when Dan was playing a solo. I almost didn't go that night. I remember, wasn't it raining?
No.
I'm going to tell, but for dramatic effect, it was raining. I was going to go with some of my friends to go check out the show, but both of them ended up bailing out. Dan wanted me to come, and he's been a homie, and he's been to a bunch of mine, so I was just like, fine. Because I didn't think I was gonna go until like last minute, something just told me to go.
It was me.
Yeah. I almost didn't go, but I'm happy I did. The music was good. That I will plead guilty to showing up 30 minutes late.
Okay, just picture this vibe. There's just people kind of spread out all over the ground floor of the house. Daniel was talking up with a bunch of people. I showed up. He finished talking to the people he was talking to. And then Daniel and I got to talk. I said, hey, let's take a selfie together. And then he said, yeah, wait. And then he grabs him.
Which was interesting, but classic Dan.
He's like, hey, let's all get in this group picture. So Daniel had someone take a photo of the three of us, even though we didn't even know each other.
It was so cute.
After we took the photo, I think Daniel and Sean talked for a bit. He came up to me. He asked me, oh, like, what do you do? And I was like, oh, like, I'm a little filmmaking student and I'm learning about documentary filmmaking. And then all of a sudden he was like, I think you're really cute. And I was like, at a concert?
Wait a minute. Okay.
You hit on me at the concert.
Okay, I did say she was cute, but I think it was a lot more graceful than that. And I was complimenting her aesthetic because I remember she was dressed very nicely.
I was.
And I said, like, wow, you look put together, it's pretty cute. It was something like that. It wasn't just like an overt, wow, you're cute. Because that's,
whoa, you're cute.
I swear, she was, it was much sexier, it was much more fluid.
It was definitely sexy.
Yeah, it was,
And I think the next day, Daniel tagged us in his photos, and then you requested to follow me.
What?
Yeah, because my account was private at the time.
Oh, good point. Okay, all right. I'll allow that one. I think I did add you. I'm like, I remember her.
And I remember seeing this and like, oh, this is the guy who directly told me that I'm cute. I was the first one to reach out to him. I think some of the first interactions was about some memes that he posted that cracked me up.
Yeah.
Memes bring people together, I'm telling you.
They do.
He would post a lot of his cooking stuff and they look delicious. And I remember talking to him about food a little bit. I got a cast iron, so I was like, oh, what do you do with your cast iron? He's like, I cook steak. I was like, ooh, yum.
Learn to cook, boys.
One day, I was like, oh, I want to get back into music, and I was really trying to act on it, right? I decided, where can I go get a tenor saxophone? And I knew this guy played saxophone, because if you look at his Instagram, it's like, saxophone, saxophone, saxophone. So... saxophone. I DM'd him again.
Let this be heated. She DM'd me. She slid into my DMs twice.
At the time, it wasn't even moves. It was just trying to reach out for about cooking and about saxophoning.
She knows why she did it.
And so I DM'd him asking, where can I buy a tenor saxophone in this budget range? He sent me the most extensive detail and affirmed, like, yes, I can go out and get the saxophone. And I remember I would update him in my progress of getting the saxophone.
That's when I was kind of laughing because she was like texting me pretty much every day, and I'm like,
what's going on here? She texted me just about every day, letting me know. I'm like, hey, Sean, saxophone. Hey, Sean, I'm playing my saxophone. Hey, Sean, I took the wrapping paper off my saxophone. Hey,
Wrapping paper.
I don't know. It's
Get out of here.
It's like little things. I guess it was just funny that she decided to keep me updated. It's like I've definitely have asked people questions before and then never talked to them ever again.
And around that time, I also deactivated my Instagram for the 10th time in the quarantine. I told him, hey, like, I'm logging off Instagram for a bit. Catch you on the flip side.
She let me know.
Yeah, and then he was like, oh, well, if you want someone to talk about, like, politics and music and life with, text me at number, redacted. He got curious about my life and why I ended up going out of my way to buy a saxophone. I don't think it's every day that someone just goes out of their way to buy a saxophone.
Yeah, true.
So I'm like, you know, I think this is worth setting aside for a phone call. We got on the phone. I shared my life story with the saxophone. You shared your life story with the saxophone.
Yeah, well, I think we were texting for a little while, and it was pretty cute. And then after a bit of that, I think I said something almost half jokingly, like about her coming over to have me cook for her or something.
How is that half joking? Because there's the other half that's not.
Wow. Okay. I'll stick by my half glass. Half empty? Half empty, yeah. Pessimism. No, anyway. She decided to take up on my pseudo offer to come over and cook.
I made it very clear that I had my COVID bubble, you know, with X amount of people, less than 5. I even set up a phone call ahead of time to make sure that we were going to be socially distant.
We made arrangements. She was very thorough. She made it very clear that she didn't want any contact, which was okay because I genuinely did not really anticipate this to be anything more than us just chilling. So then she came over. She looked like a now I'm gonna say it looks like a sexy librarian kind of energy, where it's like, you know, she had all of these colors and her hat.
I had a wide brimmed hat.
Yeah, she looked like a combination of like a farmer and a librarian and a 70s like disco dancer. It was like pretty insane. And we ended up hanging out. We had a nice day. Again, we had fun. I guess that's what was cool about the whole date situation, is that we just spent the whole day trying to make a date that I didn't know was a date work without any access to like the outside world. We went up to the park, we played frisbee, we played saxophone, we talked, we listened to music, but I genuinely enjoyed the time nonetheless, and we ended up making it work because I was afraid like, oh, well, maybe it's just gonna be, you know, us like awkwardly staring at each other or like looking down at our feet the whole time. But no, it ended up being kind of fun.
I went in fully like with the date mentality, and I was expecting to just hang out for like 2 to 3 hours because
It's traditional date time.
traditional date time is about 2 to 3 hours, but we hung out for 8 hours.
Yeah, pretty much the whole day. And that's still kind of what we do anyway, you know. As we continued to date, it was like these massive episodes.
Episode 1. Social distancing. So he respected my boundaries the whole time.
I respected them, but I just genuinely wasn't thinking I'm gonna make a move on this chick at all.
If it wasn't COVID, would you have made a move on me?
Dang. Probably.
Oh.
I mean, probably, yeah. Yeah, no, we were out here in the backyard, actually in this backyard, you know, checking it. Yeah, we're not at the park, by the way, we're in my backyard. Yeah, we were grilling some watermelon.
We grilled watermelon, we grilled mango, we
Yeah.
grilled peaches.
We just fruit grilling session, which was totally unnecessary, but Miss Ito over here insisted.
He was like, have you ever grilled fruit? And I was like, no. He's like, oh my god, you gotta try grilled watermelon. And
Yeah, I didn't expect her to actually take up on it. I had actually mostly forgot, but she reminded me because she wanted to hang out with me so bad. And she was sitting next to me, and she was doing the, like, looking at me and scooting closer to me. She also, at this point, wasn't wearing her mask, so she was just, like, just like kind of like looking deep into my soul. And then I was like, oh, okay, I kind of see what's going on here. It was also a very nice night, and I had this cool app where I could look at stars. I was just like, hey, look, stars, you know. So we went out in the back, and I was showing her all the constellations that we could see. We sat down, and I think I said something about, okay, you want to tell this part, the calloused hands?
While we were cutting fruit, he was commenting on how he has calloused hands because he's a black man and black men have calloused hands or something like that.
Please don't.
So we're looking up at the stars, like about 4 feet apart. I reached over and I looked at him. I said, hey, so you mentioned that you have calloused hands. Can I touch them?
How Erika flirts. See, I was so much more graceful, but she cracked me up. She was just like, I hear you have calloused hands. I went and she took my hand, and I tried to like take it back out of courtesy, but she like did like the little like don't go like grab, and I was like, oh. And that's when it really kind of like clicked, because I couldn't tell if it was her just being flirty. And again, I cannot stress the fact that I did not go into this expecting or trying anything. And at that point, I had gotten to know her. Everything was chill. You know, we had a lot of overlapping interests and ideas, even that we kind of like figured out about each other, even with that one hangout. And at that point, I was kind of like, you know what, I could see this working. But I gotta tell my favorite part of the night.
No!
I was sending her off to her car, and she was letting me know that she had a great time, of course, you know. We were saying our goodbyes, you know, we were trying to remain socially distanced, and we weren't doing anything crazy because I was at home and it was COVID. Erika is like trying to be cute and like say bye to me, right? She's looking at me, but she's walking in the opposite direction to get out of the car, because she like makes like very deep eye contact. She was so focused on said eye contact that she bumped and tripped on her car, and I lost it. I had to hold it in because I didn't want to make her feel silly, but I was like, she was like, and she totally like lost her walk and her gaze, and she tried to like bring it back, which was so funny. And then she got in the car and left, and I was like, oh, you're so cute. And then at that point I was like, yeah, she's I gotta hang out with her. She's cool. Date her. Now I admit date. Yeah, but she was so cute. My little, she's still that clumsy. From there, you know, we ended up having many more cute dates, and I've gotten to enjoy and get to know this cutie, my cutie.
Cutie.
Oh my god, that's how we met.
We settled it once and for all.
I don't think we settled it. We didn't agree on anything. Tell us how you think the story went. Maybe we'll do another one of these. Maybe we'll talk a little more once we've come to a better conciseness of what happened. Until next time, I'm Sean.
And I'm Erika.
Peace. Wow.
You want to do it again?
No, we're good.
Okay.
Ow.